So here, hello my dear students, now we are going to learn about the animal tissues. How we learnt about the plant tissue? Plant tissues are the different than the animal tissue, means animal tissues function as animal tissues are there, or animal body is a complex body, and so these complex body has a different functions are there, and because of the complex body, as you know, here it is cells are there combined to form tissue, tissue combined to form organ, organ combined to form organ systems. So different systems which are running in our body or in different animals body, they need to be here different tissue, as there is a transportation of food is there, otherwise muscles are there, they are holding for the other different bone tissues. So about this, so what is the function of or as you learnt about the about the tissue definition, a group of cells which are similar in the structure and working together for the particular function, that are called as a tissue. So these tissues are there working togetherly, similar in a structure. Now here in the complex here body part is there, and so because of that it need to be have a different tissues. So in our body or in different animal body have different tissues are there. In this animal tissue we are going to learn one by one different tissues. So first of all about the epithelial tissue. What are the epithelial tissues? So as in the plant body we learnt about the epidermis, like that here in the animal body there is a epithelial tissues are there. So it is also the outermost covering of animal body, it is nothing but epithelial tissues. Epithelium covers most organs and cavities with the body. So most organs are they were covered by the epithelium. Not only outer covering is there, it is made up of the epithelium. Also internal organs are there, their coverings are there, or inner lining is there, it is made up of a epithelium. Here, and it is also forms a barrier to keep a difference of a body system separate. So there is a body systems are there different running, and it forms a barrier, it forms one screen like structure in the internal organs. The skin in the lining of a mouth, lining of a blood vessels and lung of alveoli, kidney tubules are all made up of here about the epithelial tissue. So skin is there, our body covering skin is there, it is made up of epithelial tissue. Also kidney tubules are there. Otherwise, lining of blood vessels, alveoli which are present in the lungs, these all are made up of here epithelial. They have here epithelial tissues are tightly packed to form a continuous sheet. If you are observing the skin, you know that they are tightly packed. No any intercellular spaces are present in them. They have only a small amount of a cementing material is there present here in between that. So almost there is a no intercellular spaces are there. Here mostly there is a small amount of cementing material is there. It is means without any intercellular spaces are there present in here this epithelial cells. Obviously anything entering in the living body must cross at least one layer of epithelium. Anytime, anything, whenever entering in our body, it is necessary to cross that at least one layer of the here, one single layer of that epithelium which is present. It is necessary to cross at least one layer of the epithelium. As a result, the permeability of the cells various epithelia play important role regulating exchange of materials between the body, external environment, also between the different body parts. So there is exchanges of materials are there inside the organs, transportation is there. In that also epithelial plays an important role, and epithelium is usually here separated from the underlying tissue by here extracellular fibrous basement membrane. There is the epithelial tissues are there, their covering is there, it is separating by the underlying tissue with the help of extracellular fibrous basement membrane, it is separating. Different epithelia show the different structures. So the correlate with their unique functions. For example, in the cells lining blood vessels or lung alveoli, where transportation of a substance occurs through a selectively permeable membrane. So here if we are taking a lung of alveoli, in the alveoli you know that respiratory system is there. Alveoli takes the oxygen, and that oxygen is there giving to the here blood vessels, and again from the blood vessels it takes the carbon dioxide and we gives out from our body. So here there is the cells in lining blood vessels of, or also the here about the lung of alveoli, where transportation of substances occurs through here with the help of selectively semi-permeable membrane. There is a simple flat kind of epithelium is present, and this is called as a simple squamous epithelium. So flat structure is there, that is a it is nothing but a cells of that. It is a flat structure of the epithelium which is present. It is called as a simple squamous epithelium cells like lungs of alveoli, blood vessels, inner linings are there. It is present, that is called as a simple squamous epithelium cells. Then next, simple squamous epithelium cells are extremely thin, flat and form a delicate lining. It is a very delicate soft lining is present. It forms here, it is a simple one, delicate one and also thin, flat and forms a delicate lining. The esophagus and the lining of mouth are also covered with a squamous epithelium. So, this squamous epithelium is there, it is present in the inner lining of our mouth and also the esophagus which is present in the digestive tract. Also the skin which protects our body made up of a squamous epithelium. Skin is there which is protecting our body, protective covering of our body is there. It is also made up of a squamous epithelium. Next, skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. So, epithelial cells of the skin, it is arranging in many layers present and it is preventing wear and tear, because as you know sometimes injuries are causing or otherwise sometimes scratches are there, it will come. So, for that wearing and tearing purpose skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers. And since they are arranged in a pattern of layers, the epithelium is called as a stratified squamous epithelium. And so, that type of epithelium which is present like on the skin, that is called as a stratified squamous. So, this is a type of a squamous epithelium which is present on the skin, because it is arranged in many layers, because to avoid that wear and tear, to prevent the wear and tear, for that purpose. So, that type of epithelium is called as a stratified squamous epithelium which is present here in the skin, where absorption and secretion occur as the inner lining of the intestine. Tall epithelial cells are present and that are called as a columnar epithelial tissues or columnar epithelia. So, these columnar epithelia where present, see they are present as the inner lining of a intestine. So, intestine is there, as you know villi are present and they are the columnar one, means long tubular structures are present. These columnar pillar like structures are present. Diagrammatic representation you observe like this, column like structures are present and these are called as a columnar epithelial tissues. So, these are pillar like structures, so it is called as columnar epithelial cells. Here the movement across the epithelial barrier present. So, epithelial facilitates the movement across the epithelial barrier with the help of columnar epithelia. Epithelial tissue also has a cilias. If cilias are present on them, then they are called as a ciliated columnar epithelial. Then they are called as a ciliated columnar epithelium. So, as cilia are present on them. So, columnar epithelia like examples respiratory tract present on that columnar epithelial projections on the outer surface of the epithelial cells. These cilia can move and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. So, ciliated means there is some movement of the some substances are there, it is taking place, it ciliated columnar. Cilia are there is a easy movement like in the respiratory tract, there is a mucus is there, it is moving. So, cilia can move and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it with the help of cilia. This type of epithelium is a ciliated columnar epithelium. Next, cuboidal epithelium. So, cube-like structures are there. Second diagrammatic representation, you observe cube-like structures are present that are called as a cuboidal epithelial tissue. So, here these are cube-like structures are present here. So, they are called as a cuboidal epithelial tissues. These epithelial tissues are there. These are cube-shaped structures forms a lining of a kidney tubules and duct of a salivary gland. Kidneys are there. That inner lining of kidneys are there. They are made up of a cuboidal epithelial cells, and also there is it is present in a salivary gland. Salivary duct is there. Saliva which come in our mouth, it has a glands are present here, and here they have a duct. That duct inner lining is there. It is made up of a cuboidal epithelial tissues. So, here as about there, it provides a mechanical support, and with the help of a cuboidal epithelial tissues it provides a mechanical support is necessary. Epithelial cells often acquire additional specialization as the gland cells. So, like here they are secreting glands, so which can secrete a substance at the epithelial surface. So, sometimes portion of the epithelial tissue folds inward and multicellular gland is formed. This is the glandular epithelium, which are secreting the glands. So, and sometimes there is a secretions are necessary. With the help of that, they are releasing that secretion. So, that are called as a glandular epithelium cells. So, that is the sometimes there are the another one, that is the glandular epithelium. So, these are present which can secrete a substance at the epithelial surface. So, some on the some surfaces there is some substances are secretion is necessary, and that is with the help of a glandular epithelial tissues. So, this is about the here in the animal tissue, that is about the epithelial tissues are there, about that we saw. Now, next one is there, that is about the in the animal tissue connective tissues we are going to see there. Connective tissue. As there are the different type of connective tissues are there, blood, bone, cartilage is there, ligament is there, tendon is there, areolar tissue and adipose tissue. So, these are the different type of a tissue, they are called as a connective tissue. So, blood is a one type of a connective tissue. Why would be called as connective? A clue is provided like a here, as you know, connection or there is a transportation is there, as blood is made up of here 4 components. See here, this type of tissue in some the cells of connective tissue are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix. They are loosely spaced one, and they are embedded, they are fixed in an intercellular, some matrix is present, either maybe it is a hard or maybe it is in the liquid form or solid form. So, here there is a matrix is present, the cells of connective tissue are loosely spaced and embedded in intercellular matrix. The matrix may be jelly like, as I told, it is maybe a jelly like, it is like a fluid like structure is present, dense or rigid is there, like in bone cartilage there is a here hard structures are present. So, that may be the loose, otherwise like a liquid it is present like in the blood. So, like this there is a different types of connective tissues are there that we are going to see here. So, if you are taking the example of the blood, blood is made up of a 4 component, that is a RBC, WBC, plasma, platelets. In that, as you know, in the blood plasma is there, it is in the liquid form, and as you know RBC, WBC, platelets, they are in the solid form. So, they are floating on that here plasma, RBC, WBC and platelet. Blood has a fluid matrix. So, as I told, liquid matrix is there, the matrix is a fluid one, while there is the RBC, WBC and platelets are there, they are suspending because they are solid materials. So, if any materials you are taking like a loose in the water, you are throwing a stone, they are suspending, they are present as if loose you are taking, otherwise stem, they are suspending on that liquid, like that here RBC, WBC and platelets are there, they are suspending there. Plasma is there, it is in the liquid form is there. So, plasma, RBC, WBC, platelets, these are the components of the blood. The plasma contains protein, salts and hormones, and blood flows and here transport the gases, digested food, hormones, waste materials to the different parts of the body. What is the function of the blood? As blood is there, it is a transporting throughout our body. Why it is a transport, means flowing throughout our body? Why it is a flowing? Because there is a transportation of the here food is there, otherwise gases is there, like oxygen, carbon dioxide is there here, giving the oxygen to the different part of our body, and again collecting that one from the different tissues and cells, carbon dioxide, and again it is going to the lung and giving out from from our body. So like this there is a transportation of gases. Food is a transporting, which is a preparing in the here mitochondria. That food it is a taking and going to the different part of our body. So transportation of the food, also gases exchanges are there, and hormones, and also the waste materials which is forming in our body. So this is a connective tissue, that is blood. Next one, bone. Bone is another example of connective tissue. It forms a framework that supports the body, and so as you know, bone is a very rigid or hard type structure is there, and it forms a framework that will give a support to our body. It also anchors the muscles and supports the main organ of our body. It anchoring, it gives supporting, as you know, we are withstanding on with the help of our bones only. So it anchors, it gives the support for the muscles. Muscles are attached for the bones, and also there is the here main organs are there, for that it will support, like a heart is there, there is a rib cage is present on the heart, otherwise skull is there, for the brain it is giving support. Like this there is it will support for the main organ of our body. It is a strong and non-flexible tissue. It is a very strong one. Bone is a stronger one and non-flexible one. Here, and there is the bone cells are there embedded in a hard matrix. Its matrix is a hard matrix. Blood matrix is a liquid matrix like that, or fluid, but a bone matrix is there. It is a hard matrix that is composed by the calcium and the phosphorus compounds, and so bone matrix is there. It is a hard one which is composed of the calcium and phosphorus. Next one, two bones are there that can be connected to each other by the another type of a tissue that is called as a ligament. Two bones, one bone connect to the another bone. Bone connect to bone is connecting, bone to bone connection is there, that is called as a ligament. One bone connecting to the another bone, that is with the help of a ligament. So bone is connecting, one bone connect to the another bone, that is with the help of the ligament. This ligament is there, this tissue is a very elastic one, it has a considerable strength. It is a ligament is there, this tissue is there, elastic one, elasticity is there. As we are bending there in two bones, there is a connection, there is a bending is there. So here it is a more elastic one and considerable strength is there. Ligament contains very little matrix. It has a matrix but very little one. Next one, tendons which connect here muscle to the bone. Tendons are connecting the muscle to bone. So muscle to bone. Bone to bone means a ligament. Muscle to bone means a tendons. So tendons are fibrous tissue with great strength but limited flexibility. Flexibility here also less one. Ligament has a here very elastic one, here less flexibility is there for the tendons. They connect the muscle to the bone. So muscles are there, connection to the bone. Now our muscles are there, they connect to our bone. In between that there is a tendons are present, and here these tendons have a fibrous tissue with a great strength. Another one type of a tissue that is called as a here cartilage, has a widely spread cells are there. So cartilage, like a ear pinna is there, it is made up of a cartilage. Otherwise our nose is there, some respiratory tract, some organs are there, they are made up of a here cartilage. So it has a widely spaced cells are there. The solid matrix is there, it has a solid matrix which is composed of proteins and sugars. So cartilage smoothens bone surface and at joints is also present in the nose, ear, trachea, larynx. It is present in the nose, as I told, ear, trachea and larynx. Trachea is there, respiratory tract is there in that area, that is trachea, and larynx is there. It is nothing but from where the sound is coming, that is the here larynx. Before the pharynx, larynx is located. So they all made up of a cartilage. We can fold the cartilage out the ears, but we cannot bend our bones in our arms. So as you know, we can fold our cartilage. Yes. So see here, cartilage is there, so bending is there. But bones are there. In bones we are not able to bend them. So here because bone matrix is a very hard matrix is there, and so because of that there is a it is not able to bend. Areolar tissue, next one tissue is there, that is about the areolar tissue. Areolar tissues are there, they found in between the skin and the muscle. Our skin and muscle, in between that there are the areolar tissues are present around the blood vessels and nerves in the bone marrow. Also they are present in the around the blood vessels and nerves. So here nervous system is there in that area present and in the bone marrow. It fills space inside the organs. So there is inside organs are there, in between that it will filling that space with the help of a areolar tissue. Supports the internal organ and help in a repair of tissue. It will support for the all internal organs are there, for that it will use the support, that is the areolar tissue, and also it will repair repair of tissue also it will help. Next one, adipose tissue. Fat storing tissues are there, that is called as adipose tissue. Fat storing tissues are there. So found below the skin there is a fat storing tissues are there. So in between the internal organs are there and below the skin we are observing fat storing tissue. The cells of this tissue filled with the fat globules, and so these cells tissues are there, they filled with the fat globules are there in them, and they are very helpful there because the storing of a fat is there. The cells of this tissue are filled with fat globules which are storing the fat. Storage of fat is also, it is acting as a here insulator. So as you know here means bear is there in the Himachal Pradesh, otherwise any different other animals are there, they have also fat storing tissues are there because they it is acting as an insulator from the cold. So like that here behave adipose tissues are there, they are the fat storing tissue which act as a insulator. So here this is about the animal tissue, in that here about the part that is the connective tissue, that is blood, bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon, areolar and adipose. These are the parts of the connective tissue. Thank you.